Hey, listen, welcome to the Georgia Peace Symposium. We have some phenomenal guests today. First guest that I would like to welcome is my good friend George Franco from Fox 5 news anchor.
Back on TV?
Back on TV. So George and I have been talking about getting together, and so we're here. But listen, beyond myself and beyond George, we have some phenomenal guests that we would like to introduce you to, starting with former Chief Judge of Superior Court Justice of Gwinnett County, which is Melody Connor, and you have a serious job. And we have her very best friend since fourth grade, Superior Court Judge Tracy Mason. And so we're talking to them both about from my daddy's eyes. You know, I remember there's a couple of things about my dad. And he's passed away about 8 years ago. But we're not here to talk about my dad. We're not here to talk about your dad, George. We're here to talk about just seeing life through their eyes. So, Chief Judge, your middle or your maiden name, I see something about Snell. What does that mean? Is that your middle name? Like, is that your real name?
That is my maiden name is Snell. I am one of the Snells from Snellville.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
The root words, right? Family. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, my great-great-great-uncle was the one that came over here and founded the town, and we've always stayed here. So my roots run deep in Gwinnett County.
She said it run deep. Okay, so great. We're so glad to have Judge Tracy. Why is her chair different from ours?
I heard it's a very special chair.
Talk to me about that chair.
Well, John, you asked me to bring this chair. But no, this is my father's chair. And after he passed away, and you know, he was the chairman of the Ports Authority in the late 90s, and he was on a mission trip, and he fell in Brazil, got a head bleed, and came back. We got him back to Georgia, and unfortunately he passed away, in 1998. But I got his chair.
Sitting in your daddy's chair.
Yeah, and I have it in my office now. It bolsters me along with the path that Melody has blazed for all women judges in Gwinnett County. Yeah, it's been there's a great tradition.
Talk to both of you ladies. And I understand you both have been athletic. As you very well know, both my boys was in the University of Kentucky. All my kids are athletic. And I did not know. I knew Judge Tracy was competitive. But come to find out, you guys are not just friends just because you like each other, but you're both gladiators. Talk to me about talk to me about.
You know, I'm going to tell you the truth. There's not a time in my life when Tracy's not been my best friend. Our grandparents were friends in Snellville. Our dads were friends in high school, run together. Our mamas knew each other. So we've always been friends. And when we were in the 6th grade, our daddies started coaching our Little League basketball team. So they coached us, and she and I went on to play basketball at South Gwinnett High, and we've just maintained this friendship our whole life.
That was back when girls played like girls. Now they've got more of a.
They're doing their thing.
Oh my gosh,
they're
incredible! I can't believe how great.
It's amazing.
George, I got to ask this because I'm absolutely fascinated. So you were childhood buddies.
Yes.
And you grew up together, and you're so connected. My childhood buddies, and like most people, we go all different directions. And yet you both ended up on the bench in Gwinnett County. How is that even possible that you took this parallel path?
I know, it's crazy. I graduated from South, and I always knew I wanted to be a lawyer from South Gwinnett. So I went to the University of Georgia, and then home for a little bit to Mercer, and then went to UGA Law School, started practicing law, came right back to Gwinnett County, always knew. Tracy, she branched out. She went to UNC at Chapel Hill. And
Tar Heel.
So she went to law school just a little bit later than I did. She tried the business world first.
Yeah, it was, I was a non-traditional student at Georgia State. So when I speak with students, I encourage them, if they can't take the traditional route, if you want to be a lawyer, there are a lot of opportunities out there like Georgia State. You know, I took classes at night after I had a three-year-old and a 4-year-old. And I, like Melody, always knew I wanted to be a lawyer. I worked for Jones Webb, one of the older attorneys in Gwinnett County. But after I graduated from the University of North Carolina, I worked for Honeywell. I sold microprocessor-based building control systems. Then I had my babies, went to Georgia State, and Melody was already an attorney out in Gwinnett County, and you know, we saw each other then. We'd seen each other our whole lives, and it is a pretty remarkable story because it's unlike my children, who I've got one in New Orleans, one who went to St. Louis, Washington University in St. Louis. Yeah.
Well, most people do divergent paths.
Exactly.
And you ended up on this parallel path.
Well,
It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's the nice thing about Gwinnett County. I mean, even though we've been here forever and ever, now we see this melting pot of wonderful people and cultures. You know, it's the nice thing about being on the bench now. You can learn so much about other folks' cultures, and while there are the differences, we're all basically, you know, the same.
Well, one of the things that I just want to say this, Judge, I'm just so happy and ecstatic to have you both here with us. And I noticed something similar with you both that I see with both of my daughters. You both are wearing lipstick. And my daughters wear lipstick. And you guys, I've noticed that the lipstick leaders are taking the lead. And I want to applaud you both for being exemplary for women and young women, as well as just seasoned women that are saying, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. So how did you stand in that position of saying, wow, it's a man's world, but yet and still it was on your watch?
And you got to remember, Judge Connor, you were the first female Superior Court judge in Gwinnett County. So
and
from
state
that
court
perspective,
judge.
Absolutely. Talk to us about that.
Well, it was strange. I was practicing law, I had worked for some of the attorneys in town, Glendon Pruitt, Walt Britt. I was a criminal defense lawyer. I love trials. I like trying cases. And in '92, as you all know, Gwinnett was growing, had been growing by leaps and bounds. This county was doubling in size almost every 2 years. Every judge in Gwinnett County was a white man.
Yep.
And over the summer in '92, there was a new state court position created by the legislature, a new superior court. They created a full-time juvenile, a number of things. And all of a sudden, the summer was over, and 6 white men had been appointed to all those new positions. And so some of us females in the county went, well, wait a minute, what's happening? We formed a women's law section of the Gwinnett County Bar Association, and we started networking and talking amongst ourselves. How can we put ourselves forward? The bench should be diversified. Well, I came along at the right time. Governor Zell Miller had been elected, and he made a pledge to diversify the Superior Court bench in Georgia. And when the state court position, the legislature created, when it came open, Tracy's dad had been a legislator with Governor Miller back when her dad was a state representative. But anyway, I applied for that position. There were 33 people that applied for that state court position. 33? 33. Go through the Judicial Nominating Commission. I was one of the top 5, and Governor Miller put me on the bench, and I was the first.
So you made the short
female.
list?
I made the short list.
very short list.
And then Governor Miller appointed me as the first full-time female judge in Gwinnett County. And I served there for 5 years. I won re-election, and then a new Superior Court position was created. Governor Miller appointed me to that one, moved me up, so to speak. And that was in 1998, and I ran for election. And
so you did run?
I ran every year. I never had an opponent from 1993 to 1998.
God bless your heart.
So I was lucky, but I loved it. I loved it. And
Listen,
so that's
we're just so ecstatic and because we see things have become diversified, not just with females, but just different, the welcoming of minorities and all of that, and we're here for it. But we also want to make sure that we understand as we everybody talks about retrofitting and all of this, but just kind of looking back. And so who was your mentor? I know your daddy was a big time fisher and a hunter, and I know your daddy was out there on the legislature. But as we talked about looking back from your daddy's eyes, we're going to come back. Listen, guys, we're going to come back. I said, we're going to get that gray matter moving. We're going to come back. Once again, I want to thank you, George, for being here. Thank you, Judge Tracy Mason, and thank you once again, Melody Connor, for being here. Listen, we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you.
John.
God bless you.
Thank you.
OccuPrep Training Solutions is a training and staffing organization whose mission it is to prepare the next generation of entry-level allied health professionals. OccuPrep offers in-house certification programs for multiple healthcare professions. If you're looking for a fulfilling career in the eye care, ear care, dental, or dialysis professions, www.occuprep.com to discover which opportunity is right for you.
There aren't many lawyers that can offer in their practice trilingual services in a multiple of disciplines, and that's what we offer here. I felt it was important, given the demographics of this community, to be able to service as many people as possible, because there are some people that are underserved, that are not represented, that don't have access to strong legal services for a variety of reasons. I've been a lawyer for 32 years. I've been blessed to be able to practice around the world. I'm attorney C.K. Hoffler, and I refuse to be denied.
Body symmetry. We go on the inside and we get metabolically, hormonally, on a cellular level, and get everything optimized and balanced.
There's nobody like you on the face of the planet. So we need to treat you and tailor a program to you that is special to you.
It just gets me so excited. And so it's just, I run on passion. And I run on passion off of the fuel that I get from people's results. And it's powerful.
Thank you so much. You're welcome back to the Georgia Peace Symposium. Listen, guys, if you guys missed this, you have missed the mark. We have some amazing judges here today. We have some amazing guests here. Judge Franco. We have George Franco here, formerly with Fox 5 News. And so now George is here with us. You know, we're kind of hanging out, having a good time. And so we have, Melanie Connor. We have former chief Superior Court judge here in Gwinnett. And we also have Judge Tracy Mason, Superior Court judge right here in Gwinnett County. And one of the things that we've been talking to them both about, and they have an amazing journey, right? They've been buddies for years. How about the person that does not have a mentor, a person to lean on? Or how about the person that the female, the guys will figure out our way, and the ones that don't, God bless them, and whatever. But we're talking about the ladies right now. So what would you say to them? Like, I think, George, we've talked about that. What would you say?
Well, I find it interesting because over the years as a longtime reporter, I find women who are trapped in situations, and some may have more upward mobility than others. But in this great country, if we find the right people to get us to those places, we can all get there. I bet we all have similar stories. What do you tell folks like that who find themselves in a not so easy place, perhaps with kids, perhaps with domestic violence, whatever that may be? You probably have seen them in your courtroom. What do you tell those young ladies to say, you can break out of that cycle, you can get where I'm at?
You remind me of two different groups of women. I just participated with some other Superior Court judges in a panel discussion with some high school students. And I mentioned my experience as the non-traditional student. And one of the students said, in the review, they said, I'm so glad you mentioned that because I'm not going to take a traditional path. I would encourage these women to remember, if you want something bad enough, there are opportunities out there to provide a path to get that way, especially in our culture and our society today. Educational opportunities, there are people, come talk to us. We want to help women or girls who are trying to go in that direction. On another note, we do see those women in the courtroom, and I am so thankful and so honored. It is my privilege to be able to look at their situation and to connect with them on a human level and to say to them somehow, there's a way, you've made a mistake, but there are ways with criminal justice reform that we can give you a leg up. I mean, there are folks that have to pay the price, for any crimes they've committed, but you can find some kernel of help, and they cry in the courtroom sometimes. You can see that they leave a bad situation often with hope.
That's great.
Yeah, I always used to tell people I took a non-traditional path from a very traditional family.
Yes.
My first son was born when I was in law school, and I was single. And I raised him as a single mom for 6 years. And then I met my husband. He's an Olds Neville person, but we ended up getting married. And then we have 2 children together, and he adopted my oldest son. But I tell women in the courtroom when I was a judge and people that I met in the community, I said, you can do it, but it's going to take hard work.
Yes.
The good things in life aren't free. I did have a family that would help me, but I spent a lot of nights staying up late, waiting to get that baby to sleep, and then writing that paper at 12 to 2 in the morning to be able to get it the next day. When I was a single mom practicing law, you know, I had to get my son to the doctor's office, get in touch with that judge's office, tell them I'm going to be here in 30 minutes. You know, it's hard work. And so, but I think, and what I found, especially in the legal community, there is a place for women to thrive.
Yes.
And it has changed. When I started practicing law, I had some judges call me honey. I just kind of smiled. You know, I figured to get more, you know, you can catch more bees with honey,
Yeah,
you know.
that's it.
But, you know, I would just kind of smile and take it. But I tell my daughter, you know, I did what I did so that hopefully she won't have to face that. But it was good to me. The law was good to me. I was able to come here to Gwinnett County, graduate from law school, come back home to the fastest growing county in the country and make a name and work. But it was always hard work. Nobody handed it to me. You have to work hard.
Can I follow up on this? Because I found it fascinating that both of you said that you were both the first college graduates from your family.
Yes.
So sometimes when I think of law and scholars, I think of these, you know, noble families where it has been you both came up on your own. Tell me about that.
We were a bunch of farmers in Snellville when we grew up. I mean, you know, it was the agrarian South, so our parents were scraping, you know, to make a living. And while they always wanted us to attend a college, they couldn't come from a place of their experience in college, but they pushed us nonetheless. They wanted the best for us, and they knew, especially, I think, as women. I have 2 sisters. Melody has 1 brother, but they're out of the 6 of us, they're 5 girls, you know, so I think they knew we needed that, and yeah.
It was funny. My mom got married at 18, and they had their first baby at 19, and by 25, she had 3 children. She was always a stay-at-home mom, but she was very smart, and she always regretted that she didn't get to go to college. And so, in my family, it was never an option. My family was in the road construction business. That's my granddaddy, E.R. Snell Contractors. But I knew I didn't want to pave roads. You know, so
You don't want to do that.
I didn't want to do that. But you know, my mom, she always encouraged me, go to school, take advantage of that. And I was lucky that I actually liked school. You know, I did it. I enjoyed school. I enjoyed college. I got to law school, and I found out there were a lot of people smarter than I was. There were some smart people there. But it was the same old thing. You know, you apply yourself, you keep going, and if you really work at your craft, I mean, I think you found that, and you found that. If you put the time and the energy into what you love, it will pay rewards.
You're absolutely correct. And Judge Melton, I can't reiterate enough of what you're saying. And Judge Tracy, you know, I'm an old Tar Heel boy. I come from Tar Heel. And University of North Carolina Tar Heels, we all Tar Heels, we stick together. But my mom always told me, nobody's gonna give you nothing, and no one owes you anything. Right. Okay? And so whatever you want, you got to get out here and you got to, you know, you get it honestly and you grind for it. And so God bless you both. I mean, you guys have been a breath of fresh air here to George and myself, and for women, for women like my daughter and all of these other women that are around here that are raising babies and wiping noses and cleaning bottoms. You let them know today that you can do whatever it is you want to do, but you're going to have to continue to stay focused. And you say you did it as a single mom. I watched my mother, when my mother and father didn't make it work. I remember my dad and my mom just, it just didn't quite work. I was about 11 years old. My mom was suffering with a brain tumor, and dad left, and mom had 4 children, and, mom made it work.
Yep, she
All right?
did.
Got some kids through college, and here we are. We may not be, may not have gone to Harvard, Yale, but we didn't get it in the jail, okay?
Exactly.
We got it right here on the ground, and so God bless you both. I can't thank you both enough for what you're doing, and George, I mean, as we bring it to a close, thank God from my daddy's eyes, but we don't ever want to focus so much on the patriarchal father component, and God bless your dad and your dad and what we're doing as daddies, but thank God for mamas. Thank God. They say to me that the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Thank you so much. If there's ever anything we can do, George, we've got some closing remarks. If there's anything that we can ever do for both of you all, we want to thank you for what you've done in the Gwinnett County, in the state of Georgia. If there's ever anything that we can do for either one of you guys, but one of the things we can do, we just honor you. We just honor you.
Well, what I find interesting is that you had fathers who also encouraged you as women.
Yes.
At the different generations, not all fathers did that at that time. A woman's place was in the home, and that was a very common sentiment. So,
Especially in the South, and I'm glad it's changed. Yeah. So
Definitely.
She said, I'm glad it's changed.
I am.
Yeah. I'm here for you. I'm a cheerleader.
Well, thank you.
My kids come from a cheerleading background, and Daddy's a cheerleader too. God bless you both. If there's ever anything that we can do for either one of you, and we love you both, Tracy. Just Tracy, we're not strangers, so I can't sit here on this television and act like we're strangers. But we're here for you, and we're here for Gwinnett. George, I'm
a Gwinnetian.
He's a Gwinnetian as well.
Good.
So God bless you. Listen, thank you for tuning in to the Georgia Peach Symposium, and God bless you real good. Thank you so much.
OcuPrep Training Solutions is a training and staffing organization whose mission it is to prepare the next generation of entry-level allied health professionals. OcuPrep offers in-house certification programs for multiple healthcare professions. If you're looking for a fulfilling career in the eye care, ear care, dental, or dialysis professions, www.ocuprep.com to discover which opportunity is right for you.
Hello, my name is Daryl Pickett.
And I'm Jasmine Pickett, and we are the owners of iCode Academy, Inc. iCode Academy's 24-week training and exam preparation course teaches the student the fundamentals of medical billing and coding and prepares the student for certification.
Jasmine, that's absolutely right. Register now. Call iCode Academy at 1-866-553-2928 or visit us on the web at www.icodesacademy.org to register.
I'm Jasmine Pickett.
And I'm Daryl Pickett, launching to your new life.
And become a certified medical billing and coding specialist today.
There aren't many lawyers that can offer in their practice trilingual services in a multiple of disciplines, and that's what we offer here. I felt it was important, given the demographics of this community, to be able to service as many people as possible, because there are some people that are underserved, that are not represented, that don't have access to strong legal services for a variety of reasons. I've been a lawyer for 32 years. I've been blessed to be able to practice around the world. I'm attorney C.K. Hawthorne, and I refuse to be denied.
The environmental stresses, bad foods, lack of hydration, lack of sleep, stress throughout family. There's no way the system can maintain a normal high efficiency. So we take it and bring those levels up to a high efficiency, and now your system is running on a level that is more proficient.
They really take good care of me. They know exactly what you need.
Welcome back to the Georgia Peach Symposium. I don't know where you've been. I don't know what you've been doing. But if you have missed this first segment, you have missed the mark. Listen, I am John. I am the host for the Georgia Peach Symposium, and I have right now with me today my visiting co-host, George Franco, formerly the Fox 5 reporter. Listen, guys, we have some judges here. So we have former Chief Judge, Judge Connor. We also have Judge Mason. And one of the things that we've been talking about is just them looking at life through their daddy's eyes and looking at things that their moms and everything put in. But before they close, they want to make sure that you understand your civic duty and responsibility. And I'm going to ask my co-host, George, to kind of drill down a little bit deeper on that.
Thank you. Well, I find it interesting because when we talk about civic duty, law enforcement, you get a summons. It isn't a voluntary thing. You're being summoned to go to court, and you're part of this jury pool, a peer-to-peer that is judging somebody, and you folks, the judges, are the ones that oversee this process. Tell us why it's important for people not to ignore those jury summons, to be part of it, to not just say, I don't trust you. There's trust, and then there's non-trust, but we have to come from a place of trust for it to all work.
Well, you know, we are a government of the people, by the people, and that exists not only in electing legislators and congressmen, but in the judiciary and in the judicial system. I understand that people at this point don't always trust the judicial system. I think that's one of the reasons why it's so important that the bench be diversified.
Yes.
If you're coming to court and the person on the bench looks like you, it gives you some measure of confidence. So that was important to me as a female, that the bench be diversified. I think in Gwinnett County, with our huge population of African American, Asian, Latino, that our bench reflect that, so that citizens who find themselves in the court can look at the bench and go, well, I can get a fair shake.
Right.
This judge can understand where I'm coming from. So I think that's one way that it's important that people be involved and that the judiciary be involved and that the judiciary reflect the community that you live in. And Tracy was talking earlier about citizens and jury duty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell my juries when they come in that this great country was built on two boxes, the voter's box and the jury box. You know, I'd like people to know, I want them to have confidence. In order to really gain confidence, if they engage in the system, if they answer their summons, if they come in, I think they'll see that the system works. When I see people come in of all nationalities, they all seem to want to do the right thing. I think if they participate in the system, come in and do their civic duty, it strengthens not just us locally, but strengthens us as a country.
Amen.
It's a jury of peers. And as Melody said, it's a system of the people, for the people.
I just want to thank both of you all so much. You guys have warmed my heart. It's been a breath of fresh air for both George and myself. Thank each and every one of you all. Whatever we can do to be a part of what this great matrix that you guys are talking about, we're here for it. The Georgia Peach Symposium. God bless you real good. Have a great day.
Thank you.